Caroline Popoola is a renowned entrepreneur, educator, social impact leader, and speaker, celebrated for her transformative leadership as founder and CEO of Alpha James Limited and Alpha Childcare Limited. She oversees 16 childcare settings across Greater London, employing over 95 staff globally. A graduate of the University of Oxford-Side Business School and member of the Institute of Directors, Caroline excels in sustainable growth strategies. Through Caroline Popoola Consultancy, she supports nurseries and businesses in achieving success. Her philanthropic efforts via the Caroline Popoola Foundation include food aid, seed funding for startups, and bursaries for underprivileged youth. She also serves on the executive committee of Wimpy's International, promoting gender diversity. Caroline established Alpha Global and its pioneering early years childcare conference in Africa, empowering educators and advancing best practices. In recognition of her excellence in entrepreneurship and leadership, she's an IWEC 2025 awardee, a prestigious international honor that celebrates outstanding women entrepreneurs and their contributions to business and society. Her commitment to education, community empowerment, and excellence continues to inspire and impact lives globally.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. And we saw the picture of Mrs. Ogunde there. I don't want to bring, and Ronke, you were in the toilet when we gave her 1 minute respect for her. She was a true mentor from day one. She got me to understand the politics of education in Nigeria. I would call her up. It doesn't matter, she's in Canada, she'll pick up at odd times, because the time in Nigeria, in London to Canada is different. The time zone, she'll pick up midnight, and she would advise me, do this, don't do this, do this, don't do this. I know I speak for all of us to say we really did lose a gem there. But her legacy lives on. We're gonna keep talking about her and the great things she's doing as well. And please support her work, because I think they're doing the program shortly. I received the information, so please, 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 don't leave it, support her work. Thank you so much. So, going back to what I'm talking about. So, we're talking about education, early years being a national priority. But before I go into my topic, and they said I've only got 20 minutes. I'm the only one they cheat out of time. They let everybody else speak, but I don't mind. I don't have to cover. It's not about me. It's about getting the message across. Right, it's so tiny, you can't see what I've got here. I love demonstration. Ronke helped me last year, but don't worry, it's very small this time, so it's okay. So I've got here seeds, right? Seeds, S-E-E-D-S. Seeds, right? So I'm going to ask us a few questions based on these seeds. If I plant this seed, so imagine it's a mango seed or corn, whatever it is. Imagine, just think about seeds in your head, yeah? If I plant this seed on concrete, would it grow? All right. What about if I buried the seed in poor soil? So poor, P-O-O-R, poor soil. Would it grow? Okay. What about if I said I'm going to deprive it of sunlight? So for those of you that know science, you know we need sunlight. Would it grow? I tell you what, I'm going to do something different. So I've decided I'm going to plant it in good soil. I've decided I'm going to water it. I'm going to give it sunlight. But guess what I'm going to do? Every single month, I'm going to go back and uproot it to just check if it's all right. What would happen to it? Would you blame the seed for the things that's happened if it didn't grow? You wouldn't blame the seed. Okay. So I guess we understand what nature is about, right? We understand the environment a seed needs to grow. The problem is not about the seed. The problem is about the ecosystem around the seed, right? Do you get that? So the ecosystem of this includes the things that make you grow, which is light, water, soil, all of that stuff. That's what makes it grow. And nurturing, right? So why is it then, when it comes to children, you turn around as teachers, parents, educators, policymakers in the room, you turn around and said, rather than thinking about the ecosystem or what makes up the child, you're thinking, what is wrong with you? So it's always about the child. It's not about anybody else. Why is it that when the child is struggling, we're quick to ask, what is wrong with you as the child? Do you think we're asking the wrong questions? Well, of the wrong person, because if you're not going to say, is this seed's problem, why do you think it's a child's problem? I said it's about the ecosystem. Imagine my artificial flower. Imagine everything was right. The condition was right. This is what we would have of the seed I have. This is what we would have. So this leads me nicely to my slide. And today I'm going to be talking about ecosystem. Can I have page 2 of my slides, please? Ignore the introduction. Just go straight to page 2. Yep, thank you so much. And we can see there, it says early years becomes a national priority. This is what we're talking about. Can I have page 3, please? Thank you. Where do you find yourself? For that child, I listened carefully to Dr. Joyce, Esa. Ma, I don't use words loosely. Thank you. For everything you said, thank you. It pains my heart, and I'm not going to do the bad or emotional thing, but it pains my heart to genuinely know this is how we still treat children in the 21st century, and in particular, 2026. There's no excuse. You find yourself in that space. That girl looking at you, all of these people, whether you're in government or you're in faith, our churches, our NGOs. So it's not just the teachers, it's all of us that make up the ecosystem to really give this child a brilliant start in life. So the question is not whether early years should be made a national priority, is whether every part of that ecosystem is ready to stand up and take their place. And that's the question we should be asking ourselves today. Before you leave here, where do I fit in, and what role am I going to play to make those children in my classrooms, in my community, as a parent, for me to make a difference to that child's life? Can I have slide number 2? If you've been here a few times, you know I love my acronyms. So E stands for Every Child Matters. Slide 3, please. Thank you. You've got the teachers there, you've got the school owners, parents, and policymakers. So said here, see potential before performance. Dr. Joyce talked about perfection, like we should chuck it away, that don't think about perfection. Imagine a seed, an acorn seed, that grows into an oak tree. Would you ever think, when you see an acorn seed to grow into an oak tree, would you ever think that? That's what we do. But that goes from using the languages we use for our children. Even as parents, what language do you use? Are you a present parent or are you an absentee parent? Whilst I appreciate the culture allows us, and I love our culture. I love our culture. I really can't emphasize it enough. But whilst our culture allows us to have the nannies and the extra grandmas and so on, it's great. But are they Do they understand your value? Do they understand what your child needs to grow to become these children we want them to be in the next 20 years that will lead our nation? And if they don't, what training are you giving them? You have to be a part of that. You can't be a parent that is quiet. We talk about quality over quantity. I believe in quality over quantity. As a parent, if you're in here, most of us are parents. If you've only got 10 minutes, whilst the culture allows you not to be there because of our work pattern, but the 10 minutes you spend with, be present. Ask questions, open-ended questions, not the one that would require a yes or no answer, and you think you've spent time. No, you have not. This is what we were saying here. As a school owner, be inclusive. I was in Shagamu the last weekend, and I had to talk about low resources, like literally using where there's no money. And I had such an incredible time. I had a bottle on stage, just a water bottle. And the water bottle, I could see 7 different activities around a water bottle. Like Miss Tonya said, the cups, the lids of the bottle, we can discuss color, counting. That's language. That's communication. The bottle ridges, we can count with the ridges. We can make sound with the ridges. Activities. You can do science, have water and oil together, mix it up. What happens to it? And I actually said they should try kerosene because I don't think I've seen kerosene. I don't know what that looks like, you know. So, but kerosene and water, mix it together. What would that look like? So those are activities. So guess what? Teachers, I tell you, you cannot blame your school owners. Dr. Joyce, may I say I was blessed to be in Abuja last week, and we are working on the new early years curriculum for Nigeria. And that's going to be national, but I shall let the person that is doing it, when she's ready, she's going to say it. I just thought I'd drop it there. So something is being done. But in the absence of that, you can't be a teacher, an early years teacher. It's not an easy job to be an early years teacher. You can be a biology teacher, science teacher, all that stuff. But to be an early years teacher, you require something different. You need a heart. You need to be patient. You need extra skills. It's almost like being a doctor, a pilot, or an engineer. Because if you don't have the skills of what it is to be an early years teacher, you cannot teach early years children. Right, I've just gone over my note, but it's fine, as I will cover it. So it says that a nation's future is not determined by the children we notice, is determined by the children we refuse to overlook. Can I have my next slide, please? The C is for collaboration. And teachers, we need parents. You can't do it alone, because if there are no teachers, if there are no parents, you haven't got children in school. But like Dr. Joyce said, it's the fact that if you are so good at what you do, honestly, parents will be butter in your hands. I promise you. You've heard from my bio, we run 16 schools or childcare settings in London. I have never, in all my 21 years, begged a parent in my life. Never. Why? Because I am so good. My team are brilliant at what we do. Don't get me wrong, we're not perfect. We're so far from perfect. And if we get it wrong, guess what? We're so quick to apologize. Hands up, we got it wrong, we'll fix it immediately. That's it. Own it, wear it. And then do a risk assessment around the things you got wrong. A child had an accident. You know, here, you don't have cold. We have cold. We have more cold in the year than we do. A child puts their hand on a heating radiator or something, and it gets hot. and it burns their hand. It's happened. And trust me, I had safety measures in place, but my team, God bless my staff. And some of them are watching. And the child put their hand in it. Guess who? The buck stops with you as the school owner. But what do? You do a risk assessment around it and make sure it does not happen again. So if something happens in your school, do you just leave it? I digress. But we're talking about collaboration. Where's the next slide? Sorry. It didn't come up. Oh, okay. Oh, wow, you've gone further than I have. Okay, sorry. So there we have parents need schools, schools need community, and community needs government. Remember, we're talking about the ecosystem that makes up a child. I'm trying to think, which of the E are you at? I've got O. Have you gone past O? Okay, go back and forward. Yeah, next. Yeah, opportunity. We all know the first 5 years of a child's life. Next slide, please. There we've got again, teachers create opportunity to explore, question, and discover. We talked about that. School owners, you create opportunities through quality, provision, and safe space. That's all a child needs, a safe space. It doesn't have to be wow. When I started my business, I didn't have a lot of money. All right, not that I have so much now, but I didn't have a lot at all at the time. But the one thing I knew I needed to do, I said to myself, I never have a second chance to create a first impression. So you never do have a second chance to create a first impression. The first time parents come to see your school, if they don't like it the first time, they won't come back. Unless they're desperate, they'll come back and ask more questions. So I knew that in my head, that I don't have a second chance to make a first impression. So that meant even with the little money I had to make the space look so beautiful in terms of just cleanliness, in terms of just simple but classy, not too much resources. I said to myself, Rome wasn't built in a day. I don't have to have all the resources in one day. So parents will come in and they never leave. They even pay the deposit before their children, even before we open the school. They pay a deposit because they don't want to lose a space. How can you lose a space? Unless you have 60 children you're bringing in. You can't lose a space. But they'll pay. And this is what I'm talking about here. So it's not about money, school owners. It's not, but it's the fact that what is that one thing that parents will come in and they just know I fall in love with this space. It could be the way you receive them. And it's got nothing to do with curriculum. We all know the words, stimulating environment, collaborative. We all know the slang. It's got nothing to do with the slang, guys. So for all school owners here, what space are you creating for my child? Remember, that child is the most loved thing in my entire world. My daughter is there, the two girls. I would drop everything, including this, for them. So if that's the case, and you're saying those children mean that to the parent, and to you, what do they mean to you? You have to show the parents that they mean that much for the period they're with you. If they're with you from 7 to 7, from 7 to 7, they mean the world to me. At 7:15, I'm a changed Caroline, because your child must go. It's as simple as, my love is finished after 7 o'clock. And that's it. Same thing. Parents, create opportunities through conversation and shared experiences. Don't just bang them in front of a TV. I'm glad the UK, a bit too late for my kids, but we've decided 16 and under don't now have, but I'm not sure how that's going to play out, but yeah. You even have nursery school children have the gadgets, and yeah, so let's see what the government's doing. So but don't be an absentee parent. Please, I can see my beautiful auntie, registrar, CEO, TRCN, walking in, Mrs. Ronke Shoyombo. Yeah, she can sit on my seat. Let her sit there. Yeah, let her sit. Thank you so much. Thank you, I appreciate you. It's like talking in front of your boss now, isn't it? So government too, government have a role to play. I do have something I do say though about government. A lot of us blame government, and I get it. I get it. Don't get me wrong. I know they have a role to play, and yes, they do have a role to play. But if you ask me, and yes, okay, I don't live in Nigeria, so I may not get it, right? But if you say, what role does government play? First and foremost, I believe we are the government. Each and every one of you is the government. Like Dr. Issa said, if you don't show yourself approved, as in like you are so good at what you do that you deserve the respect, you're not going to get the help from the government because they're thinking they're wasting their resources. If they plow money into your school, what are they plowing money into? Jelio, Simi, or whatever it is. What is it they're plowing money into? You have to show that you deserve the money that to be plowed into your resources. So I believe we are all the government. And I know from what I've seen last week at TRCN, I think as teachers now we have a registration card. That means you can't just get up and decide today I want to be a teacher. No. So that's a step in the right direction. So advocating for them. If you have not registered, I think it's September 2027, isn't it? Did I get it right? Yeah, see? Yeah? Did I get it right? Dr. Francis? Yeah, see? Even I learned that. If you've not registered, got your teacher's card. Last date, September 2027. Strike off. You're no longer a teacher. Next slide. So I digress a little bit. I like to have a bit of fun whilst doing this. So we need to have skilled professionals. When we talk about skilled professionals, I said earlier about the fact that it takes a real special teacher to be an early years teacher. You've got to have the heart for it. It's not just about curriculum. You've got to be patient, you've got to be kind, you want to give care, genuinely want to give care. And that's where we become brain builders, confident builders, nation builders. What language do you use when your children come into your classroom? And it's so unfortunate, some children, they have to walk miles to get to class. And they get to your class, and the first thing you say to them is, why are you so, obviously not in that language, but you're looking very tardily dressed, your hair is not combed, or kilon share, kind of, you know, so many other language that you just use that is so negative. And then the child's already angry before they even start learning. And then you expect them to be open to learning. How is that possible? Imagine as an adult, you come in here, and literally we start to attack you immediately. That, oh, you look very, like Larry J said, that don't put your arms up if it's going to offend your neighbor. So you can imagine your neighbor, before you even said anything, your neighbor's already said stuff to you. You have your defense up immediately. So that's an adult that can control their emotions. How much a child that's still learning to manage or understand what smiling is, what happy is, what sad is. And you already make them sad before they even sit down to learn. And then you put history in front of them. Right? So I'm talking to each and every one of us. And I say this, guys, I stand here not because I knew early years from the beginning. I didn't have a clue what early year was about. I honestly didn't know, but I pushed myself to learn. And I keep asking myself, why am I so passionate about early years? And I did ask, is it because I had a bad childhood? No, I didn't. I had a good childhood. Do I know people that had a bad childhood and as a result, I needed to empower early years? No, I don't. But for some reason, wherever it is, I'm like, okay, if this is what it is to work in purpose, so be it. So I'm talking to each and every one of us. You see there, what do we require? Ongoing training. We've said it. Mentorship, Dr. Issa said it. And then professional recognition and fair play. Not everyone can be an early years teacher. I said that. The skills you need is you need to have a unique combination of knowledge, skills, patience, and a heart for children. One of our speakers said a few years ago, Ms. Awoshika, when she was describing, I think someone even alluded to it today, that when you say to a child, I think it's Dr. Issa as well, I'm quoting you quite a lot this morning, Doctor, this afternoon. She said, your words are so powerful to those kids. Even my kids did that to me. I mean, I run businesses. I employ my team, and my staff will come home and tell me, no, mommy, this person said, my own staff said, and you believe my staff over me because they are your teacher. Like, it just doesn't make sense. But that is how powerful you are as a teacher to every single child in your classroom. Their parents' word don't mean anything. You are like little Jesus to them. They hold your word, every single word, they hold it. And even when I told my son, I pay her, like, no, mom, but she's right. And oh, okay. It took a while for my children to actually know I was smart. They didn't think I was very smart at all. Well, it's okay. I guess I'm smiling now. Can I have the next one, please? And the next one's why. Obviously, young minds first. And it says, the child should always be the center of all decisions we make. It's not about budget. It's not about policy optics. It's about the child. Don't go back, media. We're going to do that later. Don't go back. But if you remember the first slide we had with the child in the middle, think about it. That child should always be the center of everything, every decision you're making, including policymakers. The decisions you make today, how would that affect our children in 20 years' time? Because of every decision we make today, shapes the adult we become tomorrow. As classroom teachers, what do your children need? To start to be creative thinkers, to think curiously, to ask questions without you shutting them up and saying, you talk too much. Because only when you know your role, that's when the likes of policymakers and everybody else are willing to stand up for you. You have to embrace your role and wear your role confidently. Because we can put something out for government and say we want government. We're screaming. Ronke and I get together. My sisters and I from Her Excellency's office, we get together. Dr. Issa, my auntie walking in, everybody. But if we're doing it and you guys don't do what you're supposed to do, it's going to fall on stony grounds. Can I have the next slide, please? Thank you. Safe and stimulating environment. That's how children learn the best. And again, we said it's not about money. Do your risk assessment as a school, your classroom, before they come in. Emotional safety. Do I tell you stuff as a child? Do they divulge stuff to you? And you literally turn it around and you turn it around and twist it. Do they feel seen? Do they feel heard as children? When they talk to you, do they feel acknowledged? That's your role as teachers. Safety is not a luxury. It is the foundation on which all learning is built. Progress should be valued over perfection. I think there's a section there. The psychological safety. A space where mistakes are part of learning. Thank you, doctor. It's a click, click. A space where making mistake is okay. Because the girl that stand before you, and I'm sure for some of you that have been here, you'd know. I didn't pass a single GCSE. Well, when I was in Nigeria, well, did I even do any in England? I didn't, so I won't lie. No, I didn't. I didn't pass a single GCSE in Nigeria, GCE at the time. And my mom sent me to the UK because she was fed up of me failing, and she kept begging for me to do JAM, and I failed more JAM. And she said, Caroline, go back. Nobody know me in the UK, just go. I failed, my sister's laughing, every single exam there was. The only thing I passed was Greek. And that's only because the teacher was so lovely, and I can't even remember his name. He was so lovely. He got people helping me in the sun, because I'll just be the last one there. I was so tiny, I'll be the last one there. He get everyone in class to come and help me. So I passed it. That's the only thing I passed. They sent me back because I was an embarrassment. But who is laughing now? Please, guys, don't kill our dreams. Do not kill our dreams. Can I have the next slide, please? Trust and relationship. You know, when, as a teacher, when you refer back all the time to an adult and then you bring it back to the child, you know you love kids. Because I'm thinking, if you can't treat yourself like that, why would you treat a child like that? If you're going to do business with me, there has to be trust. For us to collaborate, there has to be trust. There has to be a relationship. For money to exchange hands, for anything at all. For me to have my beautiful cis hair, I had to cultivate a relationship with every single one of them. And I have to learn to maintain, to maintain those relationships, even though it's not my comfort zone. My comfort zone is quiet. Sitting quietly, not even in front of any TV, just sitting by myself and being in my own head by myself. I love it a bit. But I have to make an effort. So that's me as an adult, and that's you as an adult. So you want the child to trust you with their feelings and everything they do. For them to trust you, and we know the words that children would not trust an adult they don't see that respects them. So why do you expect them to trust you? If I, as an adult, I've got my 6 senses together, don't trust you, then you expect that tiny thing to trust you and trust you with their emotions. There's something called, I think there's a section there that says about attachment. There's a part of so there's 3 types of attachment. I'm not going to go into, but the last one is the one I want, and when I read that, I'm thinking, oh my God, disorganized attachment. This is where even the caregiver, the child can't trust you as a caregiver. You're so disorganized that you're causing them stress as a caregiver. And then you expect them to trust you and build relationships with you. A secure child, a secured, attached child doesn't need a perfect adult. They just need a consistent, responsible adult. That's all they need. Next one, please. Remember, this, we're talking about the ecosystem that makes up a child. So I'm not going to spend too long on this. Next slide. Yeah. So you can read that. This should be your daily practice in your classroom. Every single day, this should be your daily practice. You're thinking quality, interaction. For example, the greeting at the door, which we've seen so many of it online. It says well-prepared environment. What does well-prepared means to you? Don't be like any other school. Don't want to be like Dr. Joy's school. They have money. It's okay. Yeah? My school is not like Dr. Trust me, I'll take their money. It's not like Dr. Joy's school, but it's okay. Do yours, your school, but make it the best for your children. Make it the best for your children. If you have conversations with parents, you buy into the parent. It says here, a conversation with a parent, 5 minutes dialogue, honest dialogue, builds a bridge that lasts all year. You don't want a parent to think because they've chastised you, you're going to take care on their kids. I hope none of us do that, please. Yeah? Or at the same time, the parents put so much fear in you that you allow the child to misbehave. And then it affects everybody else's learning. Again, you can't do that. And I know it's difficult because I remember the year 1, year 2, when we started, a lot of teachers echoed the fact that their school owners don't support them. And I don't know, why do I think that's changed? But I'm hoping we'll get there. This should be your daily habits. Small, consistent action repeated over time create extraordinary outcome. It's not how long you spend with the child, but it's how present you are at every given moment they spend with you. And I think we said that quality over quantity. Next slide, please, and I'm nearly done. If you can spell ecosystem, you know we're practically there, right? We're on the M, which is movement for change. So there we have your action, your role starts now, or should start now. We've got it there, what we're required to do. And this is what we should be thinking about. One thing children can't do, they can't choose their ecosystem. However, the ecosystem can help build what the child should become. A child don't decide they're coming to my home or to Ronke's home or any other person's home. They can't decide that. However, it's down to each and every one of us to help the child build a successful life by the little time we spend with them and being present at all times. The last slide literally just talks about the ecosystem, the things I've just talked about. So what I need us to do is find where you belong in the stuff we've talked about. So you're in the room today, you're in government, you're writing policies, you're an advocate, you love early years a bit, you're passionate about early years, you're a teacher, you're a school owner, you're a nation builder. Each and every one of us in this room, every single one of us has a role to play to make Nigeria a great nation. Thank you very much. God bless.